Well, it's full steam ahead for Samantha Markle's $100,000 defamation lawsuit against her half-sister Meghan. The Daily Mail is reporting that Samantha appeared via Zoom in a court hearing in Florida because she filed a lawsuit against the Duchess of Sussex, claiming she made false and malicious statements about her in the Finding Freedom book and the now infamous interview with Oprah Winfrey in 2021. Within the TV interview, Meghan told the world that she was raised as an only child, leaving Samantha to believe that she was subjected to humiliation and hatred.
I grew up as an only child, which everyone who grew up around me knows. And I wished I had siblings. I would have loved to have had siblings. That's why I'm so excited to be pregnant, so that Archie has someone. It was really interesting the last time I saw her must have been at least 18, 19 years ago. And before that, 10 years before that.
So you all weren't close? You didn't grow up together?
No.
She doesn't really know you?
No, she changed her last name back to Markle I think she was in her early 50s at that time, only when I started dating Harry.
Meghan Markle did not appear in the hearing. However, her lawyers were present after their attempts to stop the deposition from happening failed earlier this month. Samantha's lawyer, Peter Tickton, kicked off the proceedings, claiming the comments Meghan Markle made about her half-sister was used to affirm a fake narrative. Mr. Tickton said she got caught. She was lying about her education, that she was getting all these scholarships. Her father paid for her education, for goodness sakes, and she got caught with this lie. Why else is she putting her sister down? Why else is she putting her father down? Why else is she denying her family, who has done nothing but good to her all her life? She never had a problem with them at all. She's denying them to cover up that she made up this narrative that she went from rags to riches, which is nonsense, probably not even realising the harm she would do to her sister. Probably never realising this would put an innocent person into the fray, where all of a sudden she has hundreds of threats on her life coming at her, a stalker she had to deal with. The Duchess's lawyer, Michael Kump, hit back in his opening remarks. He said, "I'm reminded of the old saying, don't make a federal case out of it. Not every perceived slight ought to be litigated, and that's true here." Plaintiff is taking issue with Meghan's own impressions of her own childhood growing up, but that's not a proper subject matter for a court of law. The statements at issue here are not defamatory as a matter of law. The right to voice opinions and even criticise are guaranteed by the First Amendment. Courts have held pre-trial dismissal is necessary in defamation cases because of the chilling effect these cases have on First Amendment rights. Samantha Markle's defamation lawsuit also relates to the 2020 book Finding Freedom, which was written by Omid Scobie and Carolyn Durand. Meghan's lawyers argue that anything from that book shouldn't be involved in the court case because it wasn't written by the Duchess. This sentiment was actually backed up by the fact that in Florida law, the actual defendant needs to make or have published the comment to be recognised as defamation. Despite attempts from Samantha Markle's team to say Meghan played a hand in the book, Judge Charlene Edwards-Honeywell said, "Even accepting what you just said, I'm still struggling to understand how that makes her responsible for publishing the allegedly defamatory statements contained in the book. I'm not looking at British law or African law or Greek law. I'm looking at Florida law, which is pretty clear." Last week, Judge Honeywell ruled out Meghan Markle's lawyers' attempts to have the court case thrown out, instead saying that it could be ripe for dismissal. Peter Tickton in the hearing said if this case does get dismissed, then they will file another lawsuit in response to comments made in Harry and Meghan's Netflix series that dropped at the end of last year. If the court case does continue, Judge Honeywell ruled last week that Harry and Meghan would have to sit for depositions. That would likely take place before July and would see the both of them being grilled separately by Samantha Markle's lawyers.